Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with Lastman, Season 2, Episode 2. So even before we took our little break there, it's been a couple weeks since we got to Lastman. And I think the biggest reason for that is, even though this is 6 episodes, they're all, you know, double length. They're all really long. And I already talked about it in the last episode how they equate to the same amount of time as season one, because season one was like half length episodes. So there's that. But at the same time, double length episodes are just always harder for me to find the motivation to get to because they just take so much time and so much energy. Like a movie is one thing because when I'm getting into a movie, I'm strapped in for that. But for like an episode of a series, when it's double length, it has to usually be like something really, really entertaining to like hook me in. Something like Stranger Things or The Last of Us, shows like that are just like I am hooked in the same way that I am with a movie. But with a lot of these shows, it's a little bit harder to get that. Um, if it's like an animated series that I'm already super into, like a double length episode, like for Owl House or Amphibia, can be really good because I'm already very into the series. But for something like Last Man, it's like I really enjoyed season one, but I don't know if I wanted double length episodes, you know. So it's just something I'm not like as invested in, and because of that, it does take a little more. I have to be into wanting to do something like this to get into this for the day, and it's probably one of the only things I would record on the days that I record this. So yeah, there's that too. Just because it's going to take up so much. And also, with the first episode, we also had the added in, like, dramatic tension of it all. Coming back after, well, however many years it's been since season one aired, but in universe, it's been 10. And after a decade, Richard is just not doing too well. He lost what basically amounted to a daughter to him. And on top of that, because of losing her and because of becoming so obsessed with trying to get her back at first, he lost kind of everything else too. He lost his wife, he lost his career, he lost everything. It consumed him. And fairly so, don't get me wrong. Like that's a fair thing to consume someone. The search and obsession over trying to find and save a loved one. Like, yeah, if anything is going to consume you, that's at least a positive thing to do so. But it left him in a state of depression, and although he could maybe smile every now and again, he just wasn't in the best shape. Not even just physically, but emotionally and mentally, as he used to be. But things start changing with this new drug on the market. He has started hearing some users speak to him about things that they should not know about things regarding everything that had gone on, but also about this mysterious land where his daughter is. And so hope is finally filling him up again, and he's ready to get back into the search, get back into the hunt for his daughter, and to make things right. And you know what? That's a good setup for a series, but it's also a lot. The first episode was a lot to digest and handle, but it was also reintroducing us to these characters and story. So I feel like now that they've done so, the other episodes can move forward, can, like, really continue with this stuff. Maybe get more into the action, more into the excitement of the series. and not have to worry about setting up all this drama and character stuff as they had to with the first episode. Because there's only 6. I've seen other like short form series like this come out recently, like from the Disney Plus side of things with like Miss Marvel and whatnot, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's like that's kind of what they do. The first episode is set up. With Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's like you're getting reintroduced to the character and where he's at this point in his life and everything going on currently in the Empire. With Miss Marvel, you're introduced to Kamala, her family. You get to see everything that's going on, how she gets her powers. It's set up. And first episodes of a series, whether they're based on an old IP or not, that's usually what they've got to do. They've got to set things up and prepare. Very rarely is the first episode of a series the best of the series. Now, a first episode can be freaking hella fucking good. But, again, it's rarely the best that the series has to offer. So, I fully acknowledge that this series will probably get better. Or this season. And that's not even saying episode 1 was bad. It wasn't. It was actually really good. It's just, it was slow. It was a slow start. And it needed to be, again, to reintroduce everything and to introduce all the new shit. Also, the one guy, like the rich asshole guy, was in season 1. In the first episode, there was that like rich asshole guy. He was in season 1. He was like managing Tomie, I believe. I found that out afterwards. Not in the comments. No, I don't think anyone commented on that video, actually. But I found that out afterwards. It's like I wanted to look up the name because the guy kind of seemed a little familiar. And it's like, oh, it's that guy. And it's like, that was literally kind of my reaction. It's like, oh, it's that guy. It's like, I remember him now. I just didn't recognize him at first. Maybe because I didn't necessarily expect him to return. Maybe because I just didn't recognize him with the new look, with the updated look. Like Richard, it's like he's the main character. It's like I'm gonna recognize him. Tomie doesn't really look any different. Let's be honest. But yeah, I'm just very interested to see where this goes. I don't know what to expect, but that was fun finding out, realizing that. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. So we're gonna get to this, hope for the best, see what this second episode has to offer, and see if it really starts to hit the fan and get going. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. We're back. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Don't do drugs, kids. I feel like I'm on drugs just watching that. Seriously, I've watched some what the fuck shit on this channel before. Plenty of times. I've seen plenty of movies or shows or whatnot that have had what the fuck kind of shit in it. But this is something special. This is grade A premium. What the fuck? Like, okay, we have an episode we don't even really see Richard except for like once. It's like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Especially if the next episode delves into what he was doing. we want to follow Harry and these enforcers for Milo. Fine. That's all cool. I can dig it. But what the fuck? I don't even know where to start here. I don't even know what. Like, how do you talk about this episode? Like, season one had some what the fuck shit in it. Season one very much had this kind of reaction from me. Like the first time we saw the creatures and everything, I remembered their name in the first episode, and now I can't remember them. But the first time we saw them, it's like, yeah, of course, the total WTF. Um, but this is like I said, this is something special. This is like, this is beyond comprehension for me. I guess I comprehend it, but I have a lot of questions, and I don't think any of them will be properly answered. So yeah, this entire episode we follow this dude who's clearly going to be coming back and clearly going to be a big thing. Um, Harry, we saw in the last episode just kind of a dumb dickbag, druggy, out of his mind. I actually want to check something real quick. I was like I was thinking like in the pre thoughts, as you know, I'm like trying to remember who he is. Is like, is he the guy from the first season? But then it's like, oh wait, no, he's the guy from the first episode of this season. Um, okay, looking it up here, I was right on both accounts. He is the guy from the first season. He's the owner of the strip club, and the nephew of the Holy Father. Yeah, he is exactly who I thought he was from season one. The guy from like the first episode or two who got punched out. In this, yeah, he just returned last episode. It's like I don't think they mentioned that he was the same guy in the first episode of this season. I mean, I think it implied that he and Richard knew each other, but yeah, it's like I just didn't really put that together until this episode. Because again, in the pre thoughts, I'm thinking like, is he that guy? But then I'm like, no, no, he's the guy from the first episode of this season. But I was right on both accounts, so okay. Um, so Harry Zenkova is just a consistent thorn in our side. It seems he he's kind of one of the first antagonistic forces we meet in the series, and now he's back. He starts off this season as just a dumbass druggie, but now he's a dumbass druggie with power. Because through this entire ordeal of him trying to help Milo find Richard, he and Milo's enforcers end up following a lead and end up somehow transporting into the other world, into the valley. And upon arriving there, end up coming into contact with the natives, these primitive natives who are very deeply connected to the Ethereum, literally. I guess that means they're kind of always drugged out. That's kind of what Harry was saying. But I don't know if that's necessarily true. Kind of unclear. But it also seems like the drug has some other uses. In the human world, we see that it's allowed people to have a connection to the valley. So I mean, it's definitely coming from the valley. We know that's where it originates. We found that out. And so the drug version of it in the human world is connecting the people who take it to the valley unintentionally. I don't know if Milo even knows about that. Probably not, but he might. You never know. Um, on top of that, it seems like when Harry took the drug and OD'd from, well, he OD'd from it because the condom burst in his belly, but when he OD'd from it and then was transported through the portal like almost right after, it seems like that caused him to somehow be resurrected. He's basically a walking zombie. He's like Bruno from part 5 of JoJo. He was basically a walking corpse who could think, who could talk, who could do everything, except he didn't feel anything, just like Bruno. He had no sense of feeling. He was just kind of there. And throughout all of this, he he ends up going through all of this shit with the other enforcer, well, with the enforcers. He's not one himself, but he goes through all this shit with them and ends up meeting these natives and having to deal with them. One of the brothers, one of the twins, gets killed, and then the other eventually gets killed, and being merged with Harry. Because that's the thing, because apparently he can absorb people now and also completely combine with them. This is very much a body horror thing in the like of The Thing. If you've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, it is still one of the best horror movies of all time, especially in terms of the practical effects on the body horror and whatnot. And this is very reminiscent of it. In fact, I would not be surprised at all if this was inspired by The Thing. It is very reminiscent of it. The way he absorbed him like that, the way he kind of just became like, or took him in as part of himself. It's like that very much reads in the same kind of style as The Thing. So I can assimilate. That's the word I was trying to think. I was trying to think of this word. There's a word that like perfectly encapsulates what I was saying there, and it's assimilate. I was trying to think of it. I couldn't, but there you go. He assimilated him. And now I guess he leads these natives. So that's fun. So did Richard make it here too? Is he in the valley, or I guess maybe we'll find out, but there's just a lot of questions that raises from this. I assume that the reason all of this was happening, the living after death, but also like gaining the super strength and other abilities, is because of the Ethereum having an effect on his body through going through the portal. And then once he took the drug after having already been through the portal, the drug had a different effect on him than normal, gave him like super strength and stuff, and it's like it's just insanity. It's just insanity. I just I don't even know anymore. I feel so bad for the twins though, especially the one who has his fiance and everything. We get to meet her at the beginning, and they're so in love, and it's so fucking cute. And then he ends up dying, him and his brother, and it's like you see how crushed, how soul crushed the brother is after seeing after seeing his brother be killed, not only die but also be eviscerated in front of him. Um, and then he ends up dying too, and it's like you see the fiance at the end, like she's talking and she's like, I can't reach him, and it's like, oh my god, this is actually sad. It's like, why are you doing this to me? What is this episode? It's gross, it's horrifying, it's what the fuck, but it's also sad, and it's like I mean, I couldn't give two shits about the other enforcer, the guy with the sunglasses. Like, I don't give two shits about him. But the twins, I was actually kind of invested in. And then Harry now is just some kind of monster, and it's like, I mean, it's clear that Richard's going to have to go head to head with Harry at some point. It's like that's clearly what this is setting up. And we still haven't seen his daughter, Richard's daughter, yet in this season. I don't know if there's plans for a season 3, but I don't know if in these 6 episodes we're going to be able to resolve everything. Everything going on right now, plus with Milo, plus with the daughter, and it's like, I'm just flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted. I don't know anymore. I mean, it was entertaining, if nothing else. It was entertainingly psychotic, but seriously, like, how am I? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Like, what am I do not understand how to talk about this episode any further. Just don't do drugs. Just stay away from the drugs. If it's something like caffeine or weed, as long as you are responsible with it, fine. But like this is the kind of shit that you get with like meth and LSD and whatnot, and it's like I feel like I'm on LSD. I feel like I'm tripping balls here. But I realize that Harry is the strip club owner, so there's that. At least I got clarity on that. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you can even respond after watching that, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much. I'm Connie. I'm signing off. I need alcohol. See y'all next time.